Hey everybody, welcome to Geekoholics Anonymous, episode 129. I'm your host Rico, here with my co-host,
Mr. Dane Cody.
Mr. Dane Cody and I get together once a week, talk about video games, TV, movies, and or whatever the hell we like. Mostly video games, sometimes movies and TV, but mostly games.
But welcome mainly everybody. Whatever the hell we like.
Yeah, and a little bit of whatever the hell we like. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome new listeners. Welcome anyone who discovered us through our Assassin's Creed contest. Hopefully you stick around and enjoy the show. If you guys weren't aware, we're giving away a copy of Assassin's Creed Origins on PS4 Gold Edition.
It's got all the bells and whistles.
Yeah, season pass, all the fun stuff. It is open till not this week, next week. I think I had it open for 2 weeks. So,
okay.
If you haven't seen it, it's on our Facebook page and our Twitter feed. I've been reposting it every once in a while. How to enter? There's multiple ways: follow, share, like, retweet. There's an actual contest widget where you can earn like a buttload of entries.
Ooh.
If you go there, increase your odds. Before we sat down to record, I think we had close to 1,000 entries.
Wow.
Yeah.
People want to play that game.
I'm like, wow, when you give away a good prize, you get a lot of attention. So, yeah. After this contest is done, I'm going to have another one, and it's going to be for something very special.
Ooh.
Very, very special.
You do know your wife already took your virginity, right?
Oh, shit. Yeah, no. Video game related.
Oh, okay.
That's not a prize to give. Anyway, yeah, I'm going to keep that under wraps or tease. But after the Assassin's Creed contest, we're going to have another one. And it's going to be pretty fancy item that I know a lot of people want. So
I think I know what it is.
Okay.
But I'll keep it a secret.
Yeah. Usually we open the show with what you've been playing. Get into some news and stuff. Our public service announcements, and our free-for-all section. And we have a little bit of everything for all our sections. But, of course, before we get into any of that, we usually start with our BS section, which we've been in since the get-go. I don't have anything really exciting to report from the weekend.
Me neither. It was a pretty slow weekend, actually, for me.
I did go see Blade Runner.
What? Oh.
So I can kind of talk about that at the end.
I really wanted to see that.
That'll go in our free-for-all section. But before we get into all of that, we get into our designated drinking section.
Yeah.
And I'll tell everyone right now, I'm drinking nothing because I was drinking water and I forgot it upstairs. But Dane, what are you drinking?
Double fisting, motherfucker.
You're double fisting?
Yeah, I got a beer in one hand, and I've actually got some port in the other hand.
Oh,
I'm trying to finish off my beer. I cracked it earlier, and then I kind of forgot about it. And then it was sitting there, and my wife's like, "Oh, are you done with that?" And I was like, "No, I can't throw that away. That's a perfectly good beer. I gotta finish that." But I'd already poured my port for the podcast, so I am literally double fisting.
You were a little home early today, so you got to enjoy the drink.
Yeah, sure. Does that I have to be home early to do that?
I don't know.
Oh.
I feel like you were chilling at home because you got home earlier than usual, so you had the extra beer. That's why you're dual wielding.
I had to work from home today because we lost power at the office for a while, so.
That's the best. Sorry, I can't do your job. We have no power.
It used to be the best when I worked in an industry that actually meant I could just go home and play video games. Now it means, hey, you have power at home, go home, and then you can actually do your job still. And it's like, oh!
My job can't be remotely done, but when there was power outages, or when there's power outages, it's like, hi, bye, see you later, we'll just reschedule.
Yeah.
Because I can't do anything. Because I can't test anything, I can't hook anything up.
Yep.
So there's no point.
So yeah, so I was home a lot earlier today, but I was still working till the usual time that I was working till.
Oh, I guess that's a lie. Halloween just happened.
That's the thing that happened.
Did you go? You don't go trick or treating, do you? No,
I'm too old for that now. Yeah, I pushed it into my late teens, maybe even into my early 20s, to be fair. Right at the end there, I was getting sort of full face masks, and luckily I'm fairly short, so I would just go with people that looked a lot younger than me, and I would still, get some candy, but now I'm at the point where I can't do that anymore.
I don't know if you guys remember last year. I think I said on the podcast I dressed up as Pip-Boy.
Yeah.
And I trick-or-treated last year. You
have a child and stuff. It makes sense. You can get away with it now.
I wasn't with the child last year. My wife was. I was with my niece, and we were running around getting candy like crazy people.
See? You had a child with you. You're allowed to do that.
I guess by a teenager being a child, sure.
Yeah.
Well, my child was there last year, but after they went home, we went and did a few more houses, and I trick-or-treated the whole time. But yeah, last night I just used my daughter as an excuse to get candy. It was pretty cute, though, because she was saying trick-or-treat and thank you.
Awesome.
And got a big pile of candy that she can't even eat. It's like, wah, wah, wah. It's pretty funny. We got home from trick-or-treating, and I went through her stuff because there was still we came home earlier, right? So there were still kids trick-or-treating. And I went through all her stuff, and since no one was home, we just left the bowl at the front.
Right.
And when we came home, the bowl was empty, obviously.
Of course.
Kids were cool, or if someone freaking dumped it all, who knows? There was a lot of houses in our neighborhood that just had bowls at the front door because there's a lot of people with kids, and obviously both parents go, so no one wants to sit at home, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we came back, and I went through a candy, and was like, oh, that sucks. So I refilled the bowl with all the
bad candy you didn't want.
All the bad candy from our trick-or-treating, and I put the bowl back out.
Got up this morning and it was empty again?
Well, no, after she went to bed, I went back out to get the bowl because it was late at night and it was almost all gone. Can you guess what people didn't take?
I don't know, actually.
It was all Smarties. Nobody took Smarties, which is weird.
What the hell's wrong with people? I love Smarties.
Smarties aren't bad. The people took the fucking wagon wheels. Wagon wheels are terrible.
Oh, yeah, no.
There was wagon wheels in there. People took those.
Wow.
Anyway, whatever. I got a shitload of candy. Probably have diabetes now. So, yeah.
We're well on your way to having diabetes, right?
It was pretty rad. There's a lot of freaking fireworks.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know what was going on over here. There was full fireworks show down the street.
Huh. We were fairly lucky. We didn't have too many crazy things happening around our neighborhood last night.
Can you guys even buy them over there?
There's a couple places, not close.
Because it's all permit there too, right? You need a permit.
It depends on the city that you're in. Certain cities have different bylaws. So, I think the city of Vancouver, you're not allowed to shoot them off in, but I think Surrey you can. And I don't know exactly. I think, and maybe Langley. I don't know all the details.
Yeah, I think mostly everywhere here needs a permit.
Right.
So pretty sure no one has permits, but
yeah, so you just risk it.
Yeah. With that being said, let's get into some what you've been playing. And yeah, let's get the biggie right out of the way, Dane.
What's up?
Obviously, you've been playing some Super Mario Odyssey, right?
I may have purchased that.
Yeah, that's obviously I downloaded it during our last show, or it unlocked during our last recording.
Exactly.
I have been playing the shit out of it. It is.
Have you finished it yet?
No, I haven't finished it.
Okay.
It's an awesome game.
Because from what I understand, there's a credits roll, and then there's also a gajillion and one things that you can still do, and one of them happens somewhat quickly, and the other one can take hours and hours from what I get. So Mario Odyssey, mainline Mario title, semi
well, not open world, but it's got your classic Mario worlds, and you go from one world to another, collecting moons to power the Odyssey, hence Super Mario Odyssey, which is your ship. And whenever you get enough stars and or beat some of the worlds have like a requirement, aka a boss, usually, that you have to deal with, and then you move on to the next world.
I thought they all had moon requirements, that you had to have so many moons in order to open
you
up.
can't leave until you have the moons. So I guess maybe you don't have to beat the bosses because you can get the moon requirement before you move on. But I usually always get up to the point of beating the boss or the main. There's always one big main like quest for each area.
Right.
There's tons of little quests and side stuff to do.
There's so many moons in that game. It's crazy.
Yeah, basically the big thing with Mario Odyssey is collecting moons which power your ship. Apparently, from what I hear, rumor is, spoiler alert, plug your ears for 10 seconds if you don't want to know how many moons there are. There's like 900 and something moons.
Wow.
I think I have I don't know how many I have. I had 130 something, but then I completed a stage and went to another one. So I want to say I'm around 160 something.
Okay.
But I can't remember. I feel like I'm close to the end of the game, but I think I have at least 2 more worlds to go.
Oh, wow.
Whatever. I don't know what even the end game scenario is. So basically in this game, if you have been living under a rock and have no idea about Super Mario Odyssey, it's a 3D platformer, a la the last few Marios, Super Mario World on the Wii U, Super Mario 64, obviously. And you team up with Cappy, who is a magic hat ghost.
Yeah, I don't know. Like,
when he's not in your hat, he looks like a white top hat with eyes, but you can kind of tell there's like a little ghost under it. So anyway, he possesses creatures. I don't think Nintendo called it possession. I don't know. I can't remember. But basically,
he possesses your hat. Like, yeah, the storyline behind it is kind of ridiculous.
Basically, Bowser steals Peach, is forcing her to marry him, and anyway, he also kidnaps Cappy's sister. I can't remember her name. I want to say it's Tiara, but maybe it's not.
She's currently in the shape of a tiara.
Yeah, because she happens to be a tiara. And basically, Cappy's like, oh, we need to find a ship, and we need to track that guy down. I got to get my sister back, and I'll help you, because clearly he stole your girlfriend. Your Peach.
I don't really know what they are. Obviously. Are they a thing? I mean, he keeps running around.
Keeps rescuing her.
Trying to rescue her.
She sends him letters with like kissy lips on it, so...
Mario, I'm in another castle.
And anyway, Cappy lives in your hat, and basically Mario there isn't traditional power-ups in this game. Like, you don't get a fire flower and throw fireballs, or like boomerang suit. There isn't suits per se, but when you throw Cappy, you teleport / possess / control whatever enemy you throw your hat at. So early in the game, you control a frog, and you can super high jump, and later in the game, you're controlling like a hammer brother, and you're throwing freaking hammers.
Or you jump on Bullet Bill, and you fly around the map before you blow up.
So literally, there are, I don't know how many different enemies you can control. There is a lot. It seems like in every world there's at least a couple that you can control. Yeah,
it seems like every time you show up at a new world, there's at least 1 or 2 enemies that you can sort of possess and control. And
they each have different abilities that are usually required to traverse in the level. Whether it be like super high jumps, or like they can destroy stuff or fly even, smash walls. You can even possess, spoiler alert, a tank, and Mario can be a tank.
Wow.
It's pretty freaking awesome. I'm like loving this game. The environments are so varied. There's snow, there's ice, water worlds. There's a freaking some of them I can't even describe, but they're all quite varied. And the different enemies you control, the abilities and stuff that you can do it's cooler than just having like your fire flower and typical Mario stuff, because I don't know, literally I swear there's been at least 20 or 30 different things I've controlled, and they all control differently and do different things.
Oh yeah, and they feel super varied.
Yeah, you can be a Goomba, which just he doesn't slip on ice, and Goombas can stack up. So you can stack like 10 Goombas on top of each other and have a walking tower of Goombas. So you can reach super high items or stuff that's hidden in the world.
I didn't even think to do that when I saw that.
You can possess what are the fish called in Mario?
I don't know. I haven't gotten to that level yet.
You can possess a fish and just full on swim around underwater and don't have to worry about breathing.
So I'm on the 4th world. The first time you get a fork essentially in the road. I went to the forest instead of the underwater one.
Okay,
so I'm at the forest one.
So it doesn't have your typical like Mario world map. It literally is the world, and you go from point to point, location to location. Mm-hmm. And at some points, there's a fork in the road where it makes you choose where you want to go between two, and then basically you clear that one and
you go to the other one.
You can go to the other one, and so forth. And usually there's multiple boss fights in each world. There's giant boss fights. There's some really cool stuff that happens in this game as well, that I don't want to talk about. But man, what a fantastic freaking game. And the best part is I have it with me everywhere. I'm sitting on break and I'm playing like the best Mario game ever. Like, it looks fantastic. It plays fantastic. I'm so impressed. It totally exceeded my expectations. I knew it was going to be good, but I didn't know it was going to be this good.
It's really good. And I think one of the coolest things that I love about it is the joy that it seems to have. Like, it's so good to play, and it's just fun.
I'm just smiling the whole time, and it feels good.
Yeah, like
it's got like a sense of whimsy.
Totally. Absolutely. No, I'm really, really liking it. It's one of the best games. It's easily one of the best Mario games in a very long time. I would. It's interesting because I really liked the Super Mario Galaxy games a lot.
Yeah, the Galaxy games were pretty fantastic.
But I might argue that this is the best one since Super Mario 64.
Yeah, in my opinion, I think it's the best. I like the Galaxy games, but I think the Galaxy games suffer by being stuck on the fucking Wii.
Yeah, I just remembered playing on the Wii, and at the time, it was so hard not to feel like the fidelity was hurting it so much.
Everything else was in HD, and then we had this awesome Mario game, which it still looked good, but it's like, oh man, come on. Like, this deserves so much better.
Totally.
It's like it was like a victim because it was on the Wii. If they were on the Wii U, not that the Wii U did very well, but
it would have been a much... I mean, I don't know if they could have gone to the scale and the scope that they did on the Wii.
I'm sure they sold really well on the Wii, but just from like where the tech was during the Wii, we were playing HD games at that point.
And it was frustrating. That was actually one of my biggest complaints with... Well, that was easily my big... Well... No, the motion controls were easily my biggest complaint with the Wii, but... That was my second biggest complaint with the Wii by far, was that fidelity. Just, you'd go play games on the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3, and then you'd come back and you'd play games on the Wii, and it was just like, oh, I want this to at least be 720p. Why on earth am I still playing games at 480p on this thing? It's just,
and it just looked muddy.
Well, yeah, because that resolution was the same as your freaking CRT TV. So
yeah. Those are awesome games. I actually seen a lot of people tweet that they're hoping that Nintendo basically re-releases those
Galaxy
on the Switch. Yeah,
in HD,
which I am totally fine with that.
I never played the second Galaxy.
I played the first one and started the second one.
So, I mean, I would definitely be curious to play the second one.
I never owned the second one because I was so done with Wii, which sucks.
Yeah, and that's where I was as well.
Fantastic. I borrowed it from someone, but I never ended up beating it.
And that's what happened to me. I played through the first one. I owned the first one.
Yeah, I have the first one on the shelf behind me.
And then the second one was just, I don't know. I couldn't do it. I don't know. It's like I liked the first one a lot, but just not having that high definition at the time just kind of killed it for me. So, but this one is so good.
Yeah.
If you own a Wii, well, I'm sorry. If you own a Switch, this is the game that this is a system seller.
I was gonna say
that Zelda wasn't already a system seller. Like, they're two damn near perfect games that have come out for that system in its first year, which is kind of crazy.
Nintendo's going to be fighting itself for Game of the Year.
Yeah.
Quite honestly.
Pretty much.
They released two of the best games in two of their largest franchises. If they don't release another game on the Switch, this system is well worth it already.
Yeah.
Not that that's going to happen, but I'm just saying, like, wow. Like, the library's already got some stunners. And, man, Odyssey is so good.
Yeah, it's a lot better than I expected it to be. And in a way, any right to be.
That being said, if you're not in the platformers, you probably still won't like it. I've said this before, but it is an amazing game to try and win you over and change you on the format if you haven't been a fan of platformers. Some people have complained that it's too easy. It's a Mario game. They're never hard.
No, I personally am really liking the difficulty level. Like, some of the stuff's a little more difficult, some of it's not overly hard. Yeah. I'm perfectly okay with that.
Pretty sure it ramps up after you beat the game and do like the end game stuff, is what I've heard as well. So it's like, why would you knock it it's a Mario game? To be honest, I've never found any of them to be hard. Like you said, exactly like you said, there's hard parts or challenging sections, but
I think
you can overcome them. They just take a little practice.
Mm-hmm. I think what was it? The new Super Mario Brothers was that got pretty difficult, to be fair.
I can't even remember those games. I have them all, but they're just a blur because of the side scrollers.
Yeah,
they're not as memorable, in my opinion, the side scrollers compared to the 3D ones.
Yeah.
The 3D ones with the different worlds, those worlds are in for so long for some reason. The 2D games, you just kind of run through the levels. They don't really, in my mind, or for me, they don't really burn themselves in. Like, the music doesn't get, stuck in your head, or just the scenery. Because, like, you said the forest world, which I can't remember the name, but I know exactly where you are, and I know all the stuff that's going on in that stage. If you told me the forest stage on the new Super Mario Brothers, I have no idea.
Yeah, fair enough.
But yeah, awesome game. Awesome game. I will most likely beat it by our next podcast. I haven't been rushing. I've been playing it a lot. Like, I play it every day. Mm-hmm. But I also have been like taking my time and going in every like nook and cranny that I can possibly find, and I'm not trying to rush through it either. So
I'm really surprised at how good it looks for knowing
it looks fantastic,
for knowing that the Switch, for all intensive purposes, is a hopped up cell phone. It's amazing that it honestly looks as good as it does. And so far, I haven't played it in handheld mode at all. I've only been playing it on my TV with a Pro controller.
See, I'm the complete opposite. I've been probably 95% tablet, and I did play it on my TV.
It looks so good on the TV.
Oh yeah, it looks fantastic. It's funny. My daughter loves watching it. She's like, Mario, Mar.
It's like bright and
that's why she likes it. It looks like a cartoon,
and it runs really well too. I'm actually really surprised. There hasn't been very many times where things have sort of started chugging. It seems like they put a lot of time into making sure that game runs smoothly.
I haven't noticed anything, but I also haven't played it in. I think in handheld mode it drops down to 720, so I'm pretty
that's
sure
true.
Handle it quite handily.
Yeah.
Yeah, go get it. If you have a Switch, I can't recommend it enough. It's so good.
Yeah, it is. Oh man, it is really, really good. I want to play more of it, and that's what it comes down to.
I was playing it right up until we started recording this. So
I see you've got a couple new things on here.
I was supplied with a code for South Park. Thank you very much, Ubisoft. Full disclosure.
The fractured butthole.
South Park, the fractured butthole. Like, I think I deserve a code for the nosulous rift punishment I went through.
That is one PAX. True. You did. That was not last PAX. Bad. The PAX before.
Ugh.
You did put that thing on. Ugh.
I can still smell the new kids' farts. What can I say? It's a new South Park. It's a direct sequel. Literally picks up where the last game ends off. It is a new studio. It's Ubisoft. Ubisoft. I can never figure out how to say that. I need to get taught.
Should really
San Francisco.
ask Stone one of these days.
I think the first one was it Obsidian who did the first one?
I think you're right.
It was some well-known RPG house that did the first one. And man, that game took forever to come out. It had quite the troubled development, but
they both did. Like
this one's
been delayed how many times though? I mean,
yeah, but definitely not as much as the first one.
Yeah, I guess so.
Anyway, that's neither here nor there. It's South Park. You're playing an extended long episode of South Park. If you like or think South Park is funny, then you'll connect with what's going on in the world. It's the kids in their imaginary world or like playtime. The first game was like their Lord of the Rings spin-off, like Stick of Truth, knights and elves and magic and shit.
Right.
And this one is their superhero universe, so the Cooniverse, because Cartman's like creating like a Super Friends franchise kind of universe, and the kids are all playing. Anyway, there's superhero motif. Like Butters is it Dr. Chaos? Can't remember Butters' alter ego, but he's like a bad guy.
Okay.
And basically, you're playing this new kid. You choose one of the new classes. There's only, I think, 3 at the start.
Oh, okay. So not that many,
4.
actually.
Well, there's more, apparently. They open up, and I think there's advanced versions of those classes, from what I heard, but I'm not far enough in. There's like the Speedster, and what's the other one? I'm the one who shoots shit. Can't remember the goddamn name of it now. It's Alzheimer's, man. Don't get it. It sucks.
It's bad. I haven't played the game, so I don't know.
Yeah. So I chose that class. Okay. I'm just playing it on normal. I don't got effing time to do hard. I don't give a shit about trophies and achievements and all that BS. So I'm going to play this game once. I'm not going to play it 30 times to try and platinum it or anything.
As a little side note, I got to admit, there's a little part of me that misses getting trophies or achievements on the Switch when I'm playing Super Mario.
Yeah, I don't know. They're cool. They don't do anything for me anymore. When they first came out, I will say on the 360, I would hunt out bad games to get like 1,000 achievement points.
See, I've never been stupid like that, but there is something about playing and kind of seeing how many there is and having that little pop up every once in a while.
It's cool.
It is
cool.
just something that I kind of miss. I'm not saying like
It's like, you did it.
Yeah, exactly. It's that like little shot of epinephrine or whatever, that says like,
Adrenaline.
hey, you did a good job. Here you go. Yeah.
They're cool, but I'm so over them now. I feel like they wrecked playing games for me because I got to such a bad state of like addiction with them.
See, and I never got like that.
It turned games into work, and then they
turned into a trophy whore.
Yeah, I was a freaking trophy whore. I was out on the corner.
I remember watching you
trophies.
Play Gears of War, the original one, and you were trophy hunting. You were looking for dog tags.
I don't even remember that, but yeah, it was bad.
Long time ago. Long time ago.
So, yeah, I'm over them. But that being said, South Park looks great. I don't know. The last game looked great. It looks like a freaking episode. It can't look bad in like 4K 1080p. It doesn't really matter. It's just a cartoon, right?
Right.
It looks the same, so it runs fine. It looks like South Park. It looks awesome, like that you're playing the show. The biggest thing that they've changed with this one is basically the combat system. It's still turn-based like the last one.
Okay.
But this one has more of like a grid-based system, where your moves have certain range and area of effect.
Right.
So you can move like, say, a couple squares, and then your move either shoots straight ahead or like, out wide. So it covers like 3 squares. So essentially you can hit a bunch of enemies if they're standing next to each other. There's knockback effects. So some superpowers or attacks will knock enemies back into each other, and then that'll cause damage. And you also just got to be aware of sight lines because you can't shoot through your teammates. Some abilities can, but a bunch can't.
Oh, interesting.
So, you got to be aware of where the enemies are, your teammates are, and plan accordingly, right?
Right.
So that's kind of neat. Whereas the other one was just your typical like RPG turn-based, hit this guy, use this attack, and so forth. There are kind of like QTE quick time events, for anyone who don't know what that is, button pressing segments during battles to power up moves. So depending on what moves you use, sometimes you'll like mash the A button and then it'll charge it up, or it'll be more timing based, like tap, tap, tap for like an attack where your guy's throwing multiple fireballs, and you don't miss if you don't get your timing right, but it's like bonus damage.
Right. Okay.
And there's multiple different types of little QTEs for attacks. And also if you're getting attacked yourself, you can reduce damage with hitting the A button. Sometimes it's different, I think, depending on the attack, but usually, I think every time I've noticed it's been the A button. So like an enemy hits you, there's like a small window where the A button pops up on the screen. And if you tap it, you reduce the damage, and it also charges your like super, I don't know if it's called super meter, but basically your super move, because each character has like 3 attacks.
Interesting.
And then they have like their crazy move. And obviously you've got range, you got melee, you've got all the typical kind of RPG classes, and types, like, and healers and so forth. And you're playing obviously as a new kid, and as you're going through town, it's kind of funny. What do they call it? Kunstagram?
Oh, jeez.
You have to take selfies with people, and you have like basically a social media type level. And certain characters will only give you quests if you're like a certain Kunstagram, so many followers.
Oh, jeez.
Or they won't even take selfies with you because you're not cool enough.
So it's kind of like going to after parties at PAX sometimes.
So yeah, it's quite funny. So they are basically getting you to raise your it's freaking Cartman. He's getting you to raise your social media following, and as you do, certain characters join your party or certain quests unlock, and you can always change your party. I think I'm already over like 4. It looks like Jesus. There's a lot of allies in this game because it goes beyond Kyle and Stan and all your token the main 4 or 5 South Park characters.
Okay.
Like, I think I got, is it Clyde? Yeah, I think it's Clyde. And what's one of the other weird kids' names? I got a couple of the other neighbors' kids. And there's like a shitload of empty spaces. So I'm pretty sure there's like tons of other characters you unlock. And they're all different. They have different abilities. And obviously their superhero personas are all different, which are pretty funny. I've laughed quite a few times. I also have a 13-year-old mentality. Some people have complained about this game because they're like South Parked out. I am not South Parked out, so I think it's funny.
That's fair. I'm in this spot where, like, for me, South Park was super funny when it first came out, but honestly hasn't really been funny to me in a long, long time.
You're just like mad now. Yeah, the first game was fantastic. Had some amazing sections, and I loved the first game. Like, the first game is freaking awesome. And this game so far seems pretty good. You know, in the end, it might not be as good just simply because the first game came out and had that. You know, it was like the first Avengers, right? Remember we had that conversation?
Oh, for sure.
It's like the other movies can be as good, if not better, but they don't have that same initial impact, right?
Yeah, because it's not the first time you're seeing it anymore.
Yeah, so it's kind of more of the same, but they've changed the combat system. They've added tons of different stuff. There's crafting. There's a lot more systems in this one than the old one. I am only a couple hours in, but I can tell already it's as good as the last game. Is it better? I don't know. I think that boils down to how the story connects with you in the end. I do like the combat way better than the first game. It's more involved. The combat in the first game was quite simple, and this adds more of a strategy to it, and you're actually thinking about what you're doing as opposed to just, okay, attack that guy. This is like, okay, I got to move here, and then I can hit both these guys, and then do a knockback in the third guy, and I got to move my healer over here so he'll be able to heal everyone after, and I like it. I think it's cool.
Sweet, man. I'm happy to hear it. It's a game that I will probably never play. I'm
if
just
you
not
were
really
a fan
interested.
of the first one, you'll like this game. Like I said, whether it turns out to be better, I don't know, because I don't know how the story is going to compare. But gameplay wise, I already think it's better gameplay wise because they've made changes to the systems that I think are a lot nicer.
Right.
So it's just whether the comedy hits with you as much as the first one did.
No, that's fair.
The first one did have some fucking pretty amazing scenes. There are some insane scenes in the first game. I'm really excited to play more because people are like talking about some scenes in the Fractured Butthole later in the game. They're like, how did they do this and how are they not getting sued? So I really want to know what that conversation is about.
Oh boy.
So
that seems about right.
But they did some brutal shit in the first one, so I can't even imagine.
Yeah.
So yeah.
They're always pushing the boundaries. Always pushing the boundaries.
South Park. The Fractured Butthole.
Butthole.
Yeah, butthole. Butthole?
I love that.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Wolfenstein 2.
Have you've gotten hands on with this? You've been playing in this?
I'm
hearing really good things about this. I purchased
Wolfenstein on PC because
where
all the
it's
whispers
supposed to be played.
Yeah, absolutely. If you liked Doom, you'll like Wolfenstein 2. No. From a frantic ass shooting perspective, hell yeah, it's freaking a technical powerhouse. It plays so well on PC.
Oh yeah,
it's so beautiful. It's that fast action first person shooting, much like Doom, but obviously we're stamping Nazis shooting Nazis and stabbing Nazis and killing Nazis.
Shooting Nazis in the face. It sounds like a pretty good game to me.
Yeah, so we talked about it at PAX. So that section we played at PAX, which we talked about before, is basically the opening of the game. And,
that's.
I'm not going to go into depth, so because I guess it's cool, not cool. I don't know. Anyway, that's the whole opening of the game, and then I've played past that.
Okay,
and I'm not too far because
there's a
Mario,
million awesome games
South
that
Park,
have come out.
Assassin's Creed, Destiny 2, Wolfenstein. Oh my God, Shadow of War. I have so many games right now.
It's disgusting.
Yeah, it's crazy. So I'm literally just like in the second stage of the game. It's already had some pretty graphically brutal moments, and the main villain is, they suck. They're really bad.
Yeah.
And
Nazis,
they give you some good motivation for wanting to kill freaking Nazis.
Kill all the Nazis.
I'm really excited to get farther in the game because I've heard, I'm just giving you impressions. Like I said, I'm so early. I'm like literally on the second stage. The storytelling seems awesome. I really like the characters. Picks up exactly where the last game ended.
Did you finish the last game?
I didn't finish the last one, but I'm 3/4 through, but whatever.
See, that's where I'm at in the last game, and I feel that I need to finish it before I start.
I don't think you need to.
You just said this one starts exactly where the last one left off.
But it's neither here nor there. You know all the characters. You've played to the point where you already know all the relationships and the characters, so you're just essentially missing the end boss fight.
But that's the end boss fight.
Yeah, well, yeah, but they're dead and they're not in the sequel, but all the other characters you've already met and forged relationships with are, so...
Fine.
I don't know, I may go back and play it. I doubt it, but this game is pretty freaking awesome. They make a good, competent shooter, these guys.
Yeah, they do.
Is it Machine Head or Machine Games? Machine Games, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, no, they do a good job. They know what they're doing.
Who'd have thunk that BJ would turn out to be a pretty cool character?
BJ Blazkowicz.
There's some really neat storytelling going on in this one. And there's some, like I said, already a pretty heavy moment right out of the get-go. I'm just dying to get back. Like, if there wasn't all these other distractions and Destiny 2, and I probably would have beaten this game already. I really want to, like, when we're done recording tonight, if no one's on Destiny tonight, I'm playing Wolfenstein. Because it seems really freaking cool so far. I will have more to say.
I will be sleeping after the podcast.
I will not.
Good man.
Good at staying up late. I don't have much to say about Assassin's Creed. I'm still playing it. I finished the first area.
Oh, good. I haven't had a chance to play it since last week. So I'm stopped right in the beginning, right at the spot where I need to kill the dude.
Yeah, I just did that. So I'm level 7.
Okay.
And then it's like, okay, go to Alexandria. And that's, I guess, where the game really freaking opens up.
Yeah. That was kind of my understanding. I also heard that they start to actually add a little bit more of the actual story stuff.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of story.
Yeah. Because initially, that was one of the things that you and I had sort of said last week was you get into the story, except that you start the game and you're like, what the hell is going?
Yeah, they've been doing it through like jump cuts and time jumps and basically, where I'm at, you really know the motivation for what's going on, and it's pretty fucking tragic.
Right.
Yeah, you really feel for the main character, and you get all his
anger
justification for what's going on.
Yeah.
And a sense of they fill in the blanks.
That's good.
They whet your appetite. Yeah, it's a little weird how it opens. Like, yeah, we talked about it last week, but man, it's where I'm at now. It's pretty satisfying.
Tiny cutscene, And then all of a sudden you're fighting this really badass dude in the underground in like a pyramid thing, and that's.
I think it's
and they don't
neat.
really tell you why you're doing that.
Honestly, I think it's a pretty awesome storytelling mechanic because, yeah, it's like here you're in a game,
right?
Here's sort of what happened, but it's like now you've played with this character for a little bit, and then where like you're gonna get it. Go do that last mission. And then it's like, well, you've already spent an hour or two with this character. So now this event that you're seeing, which
has so much more impact.
If they showed you at the get-go, okay, yeah, you get it, but it has no emotional impact. But when you see it at the point in the game you're at, after playing a couple hours, now it kind of matters because you know Bayek and you feel for him. He's like, hey, this guy's an awesome guy. Everybody loves him. He's helping everyone around his town.
Yeah, you've sort of seen where he grew up. You see a lot of that.
So you really get to connect with him and like him. So then when you learn this story stuff that happens, you're like, oh, it has way more weight. And it's actually pretty brilliant in my opinion. I think it's a really cool way of how they did that.
That's interesting.
Finish that next mission.
Yeah, I want to
totally understand what I'm talking about.
I got to try and, reft some control of my PS4 back again.
And then obviously I played some more Destiny 2. Me and Trevor beat the campaign the other day.
Oh, nice.
And now I will be training him on
the ways of the Force,
learning him in the ways of the end game.
So I am level 17 now.
Oh, you're pretty close.
And I am on, what's the one after Titan?
Nessus.
Yeah, I'm on Nessus. I think
you'll hit level.
Nessus. I'm trying to remember. I think I finished Nessus, but I didn't want to go to the next one.
Yeah, IO is the last one.
Well, you know what? No, I think what happened was I was on, because I finished all the side missions on Titan. Then I went to Nessus and I did the main story missions there, and now I'm just doing side missions before moving on.
Yeah,
or maybe it's the other way around.
I know there's like each of the planets, except for the first one, they kind of give you like a level gate. They're like, you need to be this level to go do the main campaign mission. So
and I think my power level is like 150 something now. So
yeah, I haven't even seen you online. I've been wanting to jump in your game. As Brian was on the other night, and I just like jumped in his fire team, and he's
right on.
He's like, "What the hell?" He didn't
Welcome to Destiny.
He couldn't figure out how to chat with me.
Oh, that's funny.
He didn't realize I was normally when I'm playing. Man, I should put it in the podcast chat. Because I basically created a Geekoholics Discord.
Yeah, man.
And usually when I'm playing games, I'm just sitting in there. And I don't care if anyone joins in that. If you're listening to this show...
and you want to join
I'll play games
our
with
Discord?
you. I will hang out and talk with you. I don't give a shit. So yeah, I don't think he realized I was sitting in the Discord because he's on the Discord.
Yeah,
so
he is.
We could have been chatting there. But I was sending him messages on the in-game chat, and I'm like, okay, he's not responding, so I don't think he knows how to open it. And they don't tell you ever. So in Destiny on PC, if you hit enter, you can do your fire team chat.
Right.
But it doesn't auto expand when you get a message; it just blinks in the bottom right corner.
Yeah, I think I hit T.
Yeah, you actually have to hit T on your keyboard, and then it'll expand the chat. But that was fun. Man,
cool.
Oh god.
Oh man, I got sucked into it hard on the weekend. I played a bunch on the mornings.
Well, yeah, because you were like level 6, so now you're 17.
Yeah, I was playing a lot in the. It's the morning for me.
I know. I
tend to play in the morning.
I want to play with. See, I played late.
Yeah, and that's I'm literally the opposite of that. Generally speaking, I'm in bed somewhat early, and then a lot of times depending on when my wife is up, I'll even get up at 5 a.m. Like the other morning, I got up at 5 a.m. and played Destiny for 2 hours before I had to go to work.
If I'm not recording this podcast, I kind of do it games, wife. I go back and forth every day of the week. So that's how I keep her happy and me happy.
Right.
So, like, if we have our shows, we're watching, like Stranger Things 2 right now.
Yeah.
And or whatever TV shows we're watching. And, I'll spend a night with her. We're together. We're watching shows. We're hanging out, whatever. And then I'll have a games night. And this is after the kid goes to bed.
Right. Yeah.
And, and she has her freaking shows that I'd rather hang myself in the closet than watch. Her freaking hospital dramas, and it's like, yeah, no, I'm not watching that crap. But she loves it, and she's happy, content watching that while I'm freaking playing games in the other room, right?
Yeah, no.
So usually, like lately, because there's been so many games. Normally, I go to bed at 11. I've been like going to bed at like midnight plus. A couple nights I've gone to bed at like 1 a.m.
Oh,
because
wow.
that's my biggest stint is like when I play at night.
Mm-hmm.
Because in the morning, like when you're playing in the morning, my kid's up. I can't play.
Yeah.
And then I get like, depending in the afternoon sometimes, a couple hours when she goes to nap time. So my biggest stints are always at night.
For me, it's in the morning on the weekends. Like Saturday morning and Sunday morning is usually when I get like anywhere between 8 and usually 11 is pretty much my 3 to 4 hour stint that I can.
We're going to have to change that because we ain't doing the raid that early in the morning.
No, I'll, and sometimes Sundays too. I
logged back into the PS4 version again.
Real hard to play.
Oh man. I don't think I could. I have like literally, I think I have almost all the exotics on the PS4.
Yeah.
And like a lot of good gear. I have my main character is 300, and then I think I'm like 300, 299, and 298 on my 3 classes.
Oh wow, okay.
I play the shit out of it on PS4. And I ain't done playing it on PC. So,
right.
Like, I just love that. I don't know. I just love Destiny. I don't know why. I'm a sucker for punishment. It's a good shooter.
Little side note.
Yeah.
If you're a Amazon Prime member, you happen to own Assassin's Creed Origins, there's some Amazon Prime loot for Prime members this month. So if you go to your twitch.tv, there will be some in-game loot for Assassin's Creed for free just because you're a Prime member. So little side note, if those are things that you are a member of or happen to own, go get some free in-game like goodies on those. So
I didn't know that.
Yeah. And you can put it in for whatever platform you've got it on. It's all good there. So
yeah, going back to the PS4 version and then to the PC, it's like, oh my god. I think I'm done with the PS4 version. I will be buying the season pass on PC, and I'm pretty sure those characters are going to get abandoned on PS4, unfortunately. Unless someone calls me out of retirement to go play with them, but
yeah.
The PC version is so goddamn good. And I know I said that last week.
So much better.
It's kind of funny because I actually turned on the frame counter.
Yeah.
Because there's an in-game one, and then there's like the NVIDIA one.
Mm-hmm.
And I turned the NVIDIA shit off because it was bugging me because it was like hovering over the in-game counter.
Yeah, that's annoying.
I could change what corner it appeared, but I'm just going to turn this off because I don't record shit. I don't need this taking resources. And I was getting... Remember, I'm running ultra wide, so you could say some people call that 2K as opposed to 1080p, right?
Well, you're running 1440 by whatever your side thing is, right? So it is essentially 2K. 3440
by 1440.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a larger resolution, obviously, so it takes more horsepower. So on my machine, I was getting, I'd say I'd hover between 70 and 90.
Wow.
In like open area, like the more taxing areas.
Right.
If I go into corridors or any indoor areas, it's over 100. It's like easily like 110, 120.
So I took off the frame limiter because I had initially, when I started playing it, I was playing it and it was limiting my frame rate to 60 frames a second, which were the same as my monitor essentially, right?
Yeah, it has the options to limit it to the refresh rates of your monitor because mine was at 100 and I turned it off as well.
So I turned it off. I turned that off and I just let it run wild. And for the most part, I'm seeing over 100 frames a second.
Oh god, yeah, I couldn't even imagine what I'd get if I ran it at 1080.
And I was super happy, and that's on like a custom that's on a custom setting. It's not just on high or on ultra or anything like that. Like I've changed a few things to sort of customize it a little bit, but like I'm so happy with the way that game runs. Like it's so good.
I used the NVIDIA experience thing.
Yep.
Because Destiny's in there and it wanted to optimize, and I was looking at what it wanted to optimize, and I'm like, there was something I didn't have on highest, so it wanted to flip something even higher. And then it also wanted to change the anti-aliasing technique.
Yep.
From, is it FXAA to the one with the S?
Yep, super sampling. Yep.
Yeah.
One's higher quality.
So it flipped it to the other one.
Yep.
And then my frames, now I'm sitting at like in the taxing open areas, like 80, 90 consistently. Right. And then, Jesus, like 150 in like when I go inside rooms. And like, not that it matters. It's consistently over 60.
And that's really all that matters.
Looks freaking goddamn awesome.
Oh yeah, it looks so good. I'm so happy that I took it off.
Was it last week? I was talking about using different guns. Like, I'm using sidearms. I'm using submachine guns. I wouldn't use
sidearms
those guns.
Are great.
Yeah,
I hated those on my PlayStation 4.
No,
when I had, they were useless to me on PlayStation 4.
They were hard to use. The recoil was so bad.
Yeah,
they were hard to use that I don't use those guns on console. Now I'm like using guns I would never use.
Oh man, I'm rocking the sidearms and the submachine guns all the time. I love them now.
They're awesome.
Especially the sidearm. I actually have an auto sidearm right now. It is just so good.
I do not have an auto sidearm, but I have a cool one with a silencer, and it sounds so freaking cool when you shoot it.
That does sound pretty awesome.
Okay, enough Destiny talk.
Destiny 2, I'm loving it so much on PC. I really am. But that being said, so many of these games, and I feel bad that I didn't beat a couple of things before all of these games came out. Like Battle Chasers.
It's freaking terrible.
I'm like,
and then
I want to go back and play Battle Chasers, and it's just like. But I just now when I go to play games in the morning, I sit down and I'm like, okay, do I play Destiny 2? Do I play Assassin's Creed? Or do I play Super Mario Galaxy or Odyssey? Or do I play some Battle Chaser? Like, there's so many good games. It's brutal right now.
That's the beautiful thing about Odyssey is you can play it anywhere, and I bring it with me, and I play it on my breaks at work.
Yeah.
Or if I'm sitting in a driveway waiting for a customer to show up, I'm just playing my game.
Yeah, that's not a terrible idea. For me, it doesn't really work, so. But if it does, that'd be super cool. So
back to the Discord talk. I will try to remember to post a link in the show notes. And any and all, you're welcome to join. It's basically it's got chat. We can create different sections for like different games. Like you can just create rooms at will. And there's just a general chat that you just sit in, voice chat, and people can just jump in and out. And when I'm playing games, I'm usually in there. Well, when I'm playing on PC.
Yeah.
I'll try and put a link in there and make it our cool official hangout.
Yeah, no, definitely. Let's do that. I could start doing that myself as well.
I can tweet out the link and stuff. I just really started getting into Discord lately. I know a lot, like a month or so ago, I was saying how awesome it is. So it is awesome. Discord's sweet.
Yeah, it's great. I really like it, actually.
So yeah, with that, let's get into some news.
Got the news.
So Paris Games Week just happened.
That it did.
On Monday in Paris.
No way.
Yeah.
Who'd have guessed? Paris? Wow.
Yeah.
I thought it might have been in London or something.
No, it was in Paris.
All right.
Well, yeah, it's Paris Games Week.
Slap my ass and call me Charlie.
So I don't know what Paris Games Week is. I don't know if it's just a press conference or like a convention. I guess it's a convention.
Sounds like games.
It's been going on for a few years, but Sony has made it a trend to make a bunch of announcements and have a press conference and reveals there.
Right.
So they had a bunch of new games, a bunch of VR games.
So many things.
Yeah, like, oh,
Like,
man.
I'm not gonna lie, like, Sony went whole hog at this thing. Like, they almost announced more at this than they did at E3.
Yeah, they were kind of calling this E3 too, and some people were kind of disappointed in that comparison because some people felt like it wasn't that impressive, but, you know.
I didn't watch the press release, to be fair.
I was working, so I couldn't watch the press conference, but...
But just from the amount of the games that got announced and videos they released, I was like, holy balls.
What do we got? We got Guacamelee 2 is coming to PS4. Hong Kong Massacre is a new PS4 title. The Gardens Between, another PS4 new game announced. Loco Roco 2 Remastered is coming to PS4. Tennis World Tour, PS4 as well. Really cool looking PS4 tennis game. That looked pretty sweet. I did send out a link or a post on our Twitter and Facebook of all the trailers.
There's a lot. The thing that honestly blew my mind when I was going through these trailers and watching, I didn't watch all of them. I watched the ones that I was actually interested in.
There's like 20, I think there was 21 games. Either announced or new trailers for. Like, there was new trailers for The Last of Us, 2, God of War, Monster Hunter World. I guess some of the other big reveals were Spelunky 2, and Sucker Punch's new game, Ghost of Tsushima, which is looks like a third-person samurai feudal Japan game. It wasn't much for gameplay, but the trailer looks pretty stunning. That looks pretty promising.
And out of all these games, 8 of these games are PSVR titles.
Yeah, there's a bunch
That's
of
what
VR
stuck
games.
out to me, that I couldn't believe it. Like, they're really pushing, and I don't know how many of these are actually going to be like full on games and what they're going to look like when they finally come out. But some of these, I just couldn't believe that this many of them they're coming out for VR. That made me really excited because that's good. I'm happy to not just see them release the PSVR and kind of go, yep, it's a thing, it's out there. There's a couple of games that we threw some money at.
We've got Ace Combat 7, they're reminding us of. Resident Evil expansion. Rec Room is coming to PSVR. I believe that's on the Vive and Oculus already. Mm-hmm. Moss, the little game they revealed at E3 with the little mouse.
Yeah.
I believe that's early next year. It got a release date.
Megalith is a PSVR title.
League of War.
Bow
Apex.
to Blood.
What else do we got here? We got Stifled.
Stifled is interesting. That one's like it's almost like you're blind and you can only hear by sound waves kind of resonating out from your character. That kind of looks interesting.
Transference. That's the Ubisoft one, isn't it?
I think so.
Is that the one that they revealed at E3? Ultra Wings, which is like a flying game. Dead Hungry.
Star Child was another one they released for VR.
Star Child, yeah. They showed more of the Monster of the Deep, the Final Fantasy fishing game. Yeah,
in VR.
Yeah, in VR. They had like a full VR section. Speaking of VR, I sold my VR.
Well, there you go. No more VR for you.
Well, no, I sold it. I already said I was selling it to upgrade to the new one.
Oh, you're going to get the new one. That makes sense for you because you have an HDR TV.
Yeah, I have an HDR TV, and I hate having to pull. I got to pull my entertainment center forward to swap cables because I use HDR, so I can't keep my fucking PSVR hooked up all the time. It's super annoying, right? And I really don't want to be plugging HDMIs in and out a lot, for the odd chance that I break the HDMI on my PS4 Pro. That would be a huge piss off.
Yeah.
So anyway, this new one has the HDR and some of the other subtle changes. Mm-hmm. So I started calling around looking for anyone, if they have it, has it showed up in stores yet? And
right.
I don't know. I only called one place. I got to call another place, but they're like, it's discontinued. And I'm like, what are you talking about? It's discontinued. Well, we only have the bundles. And it's like, well, yeah, you only have the old bundles. And they just had no idea about the pricing.
Did you call EB Games? This sounds like you called EB Games.
Yeah, well, I figured they would know. But that was one of the stores. I'm going to call one of the other stores where one of the guys are more, I feel like, more knowledgeable. So yeah, I got to figure out, because I want to get the new headset, because that's why I sold mine. Obviously, I'm taking a hit. It's going to probably cost me $150 to upgrade, but I don't know. Whatever.
Muffin.
I know. I think I can handle it.
Some of the other huge games that got announced during this, Spelunky 2.
Yeah, I said
coming out.
Did you listen to me?
And we finally got to see what Sucker Punch was up to for all of these years.
I said that too. Don't you listen to me?
You skimmed over the name, but you didn't actually say that it was from Sucker Punch.
I did say it was from Sucker Punch. Let's rewind that. Booth, can you rewind that, please?
Yeah, no. I don't know how you pronounce that, but Tsushima.
Yeah, I said that.
That looks really cool. It's like it's like a samurai game.
It does look awesome.
It looks
super teaser. I'm pretty sure that game's not coming out next year.
Yeah, I don't know how long it is. Of course, new Spider-Man trailer, which looks super dope.
New Monster Hunter World, which looks freaking cool.
And then they took the London Heist game from the sort of demo-ish game from the PlayStation VR Worlds demo disc, and it looks like they're expanding on that and building like a whole game around it called Blood and Truth, which looks really cool.
That's cool.
That I was watching like the trailer for that, also going to still be in VR, but it looks like it totally expands on that whole London heist idea where you're a gangster in London.
That was an awesome demo. Yeah, this totally looks really cool.
It's a really cool video. So yeah, really excited about. Like I was kind of surprised when they announced like, oh, we're going to be showing off all these new games and everything. And then when I actually started seeing some of these videos coming out of it, I was like, holy crap, like some of these are great looking.
I think with the amount of PSVR headsets out there, I think game devs are making money on PSVR. I don't know if that can be said for the other two, though, being more powerful and better units. If you don't have the software, it doesn't matter how cool your shit is.
Yeah, I mean, we know that they've sold over 1 million PSVRs, so that's a great start for VR.
That game looks cool. That looks like a must-have VR game.
That looks super cool.
And I remember the first time we played the PSVR, we were going like, well, I love that demo when you're driving in the truck shooting guys out the window.
So
like,
sweet.
It was mind-blowing.
Oh, yeah, it's so cool. Yeah. It kind of actually makes me want to go out and see if I can find one of the Farpoint bundles and play that. Wait, isn't Bravo Team coming out soon?
Yeah,
or is that already out?
I think it's November or December.
So, yeah. Anyways, tons of new games from Sony at the Paris Games Week. So many games.
Other big announcements, Far Cry 5 co-op mode. I think maybe they had announced it, but there was just more details. That, like you were saying, it sounds like you can play the entire campaign now co-op, whereas I think all the other Far Cry games were like you could play certain missions and sections, but not... I can't remember in 4 now.
Well, Far Cry 3 had a whole, like, almost like mini...
Yeah, it was a separate game. And
it was like a separate game, sort of, where you could have a team of, I think it was up to 4 players, and you'd play like little mini games. Yeah, they were like little custom stages, but they weren't part of like the campaign or anything. No. They were like a cross between a horde mode and like a mission of some sorts. I can't remember Far Cry 4 now. Did Far Cry 4 have proper like campaign co-op through the whole thing? I think it might have. I'm terrible. I own Far Cry 4 and I had it installed and I've never played it and beat it, and I can't even remember. I know it had co-op, but I can't remember if your progress could be like you could do co-op or not. I can't remember. Anyway, that's cool. Far Cry 4 was awesome. And another big one was the Destiny 2 expansion. Curse of Osiris was revealed there as well. Yeah, that is coming December 5th, I want to say. Wow, it's coming soon. And it's coming on, December 5th. And it's both PS4, all the consoles, and Xbox One. Yeah, at the same time. So, though I'm sure there's probably some exclusive crap on the PS4 version. They've already said that there's a bunch of stuff exclusive to the PS4.
So.
I'm trying to look at where or what it is, but in the story that I'm looking at, it doesn't have it.
Nope.
But I know for a fact I was just skimming over a story earlier tonight that was saying, like, here's all the stuff that's going to be exclusive to the PlayStation stuff.
And some lame stuff.
Yeah, I think they had announced that there was one strike, and I don't know whatever else, probably one exotic, and somewhat similar to the last one, I think. So,
Code Racers also unveiled On Rush, which is like an arcade-y style racer, off-road motorcycles. It kind of looks like what does it look like? What was that one PS4 game with the different vehicles and MotorStorm?
It kind of looks like a cross between Burnout and MotorStorm.
Yeah, it totally looks like MotorStorm and Burnout.
It looks interesting. I don't know if it's something that I'll pick up, but
Codemasters make some good, fun arcadey racers.
Yeah,
and then everything else was like new quantities, like I said, like new trailers for Last of Us, Shadow of the Colossus God of War, Detroit, Spider-Man, Battlefront 2. It was a pretty good conference overall from what I get.
From a games perspective, yeah.
Some cool announcements. You know, we're in November, end of October, getting more cool announcements. Hey, that's all right.
Heck yeah.
The Destiny 2 stuff, that trailer looks cool. Super Mario Odyssey sold 2 million copies already, said Nintendo, in 3 days.
Jeez. People
Nintendo
that own Switches are hungry for some content.
Yeah, Nintendo told investors, they had their quarterly earnings report, and there was a bunch of fun info that came out of this, one being that Mario's like selling like hotcakes. Another was that, I don't have the number in front of me, but the Switch is on track to outsell the Wii U.
No kidding.
Within its first year.
But again, not surprised.
It's not surprising at all, but they're selling like hotcakes. Apparently, they also sold 2 million SNES Classics since the end of September.
Which we kind of knew because they had produced... We knew that they produced that many. And we knew that they were all sold out the day that they released them all.
They've been restocking like weekly. I noticed Best Buy tweets out. It seems like every Friday for like the last couple weeks. They've been getting more.
I still know people have been trying really hard to get a hold of those things, and they seem real hard to get a hold of.
Okay, if you're in Canada, follow Best Buy's Gamer Club Twitter. They tweet out. And like I said, every Friday for the last 3 weeks, they've been tweeting about it.
Well, that's fair.
Amazon they've had several restocks. The problem with Amazon in Canada, they don't have a Twitter, or maybe they do and I don't know about it, but they don't seem to have a very good social presence, and they don't bother telling their customers when shit gets restocked. Just randomly, someone got a promotional email from Amazon and shared it on a forum, and it was like, Amazon.ca is going to have Super Nintendos at 9 a.m. November 1st, if you're a Prime member only. And it's like, well, that's great, but do a better job of telling people. So tell your friends to follow Best Buy, and they'll be able to get one within a week or two. I guarantee it.
Sweet.
They'll have to not sleep on it, turn on notifications, and be like, the nice thing about Best Buy, I can say in Canada at least, they're like, hey, at 1 o'clock today, and they don't tell you at like 12:55. They tell you hours ahead of time.
Right.
At 1 o'clock, we're going to have limited pre-orders online. So then you go online, and if you're there right away and quick with your checkout and all your account shit's up to date and you're prepped and know how to buy shit online, which you should, it's 2017, you can get one. People bitching about not being able to get one of these, they're doing it all wrong. That's all I have to say. I don't have a lot of sympathy for them.
Hey, not going to argue with that.
They are definitely way easier to get than the NES Classic. The NES Classic came in once and maybe randomly had one restock, and that was it. That was impossible to get.
Yeah.
Like, the only way you can get an NES Classic now is through resellers. There's no ifs, and or buts about it, because they're out of stock. They're not coming back until next year. So that is only through the secondary market, but the SNES is Super Nintendo Classic has been restocking like crazy. One of my coworkers like went to a EB and just like walked in and was like,
oh yeah, we just happened to have one.
Yeah,
wow, that's pretty cool.
So anyway, those have been selling like crazy. I'm pretty excited about how well the Switch is doing.
Yeah, it seems to be a good thing.
That system's going to sell like gangbusters. Or it is selling like gangbusters.
Mm-hmm.
There's no doubt, man. Mario's pretty freaking dope. I don't want to spend a lot of time on this because I'm just going to start getting angry. Star Wars Battlefront 2 loot boxes undergo changes following criticism. So, after the explosion about the beta news and shit power-ups and star cards and so forth, apparently EA has gone back and they've removed the top star cards and abilities from crates completely.
Right.
And you have to earn them or craft them. They're not going to come in crates. So I guess that kind of fixes the pay to win. I don't know. And a bunch of other stuff. They've changed stuff too. They've been listening, so they've made some changes. It still has yet to be seen how impactful or whether these are in the consumer's favor or not.
Right.
It sounds like it, but there's still loot boxes and there's still crafting materials that you get from the loot boxes. Now, okay, maybe the cards aren't in the fucking loot boxes, but now they've just made the economy ridiculous and that you need loot boxes to get crafting materials. Like that's not a fix. So we have to wait until we get our hands on the game to know these answers for sure. But it seems like a step in the right direction, that maybe potentially they will be like I said, like with Destiny 2, whether love it or hate it, the engrams in there are loot boxes, the bright engrams.
Right.
But they're totally cosmetic and you don't need to buy them. Right?
Yeah, I was given a couple for free while I was playing.
When you beat the game, when you hit level 20, you get 3.
Oh, okay.
For free. And then after level 20, every time you level up, because you keep earning experience as you play,
right?
Every time you level up, you get a bright engram for free. So you never have to buy them. It's just like Overwatch, right? You keep playing Overwatch, and every level you gain, you get loot boxes. It's the exact same thing in Destiny 2.
Oh, that's cool.
Which is pretty amazing because last night when we were playing, I got the exotic table flip emote. And it is fucking fantastic. Trust me, it is amazing.
Yeah,
I know people have spent a lot of money trying to get this emote, and I just happened to get it in my free thing. It's like, oh my god! Yeah,
lucky.
it's freaking awesome.
Lucky.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Lucky.
That's super cool.
So yeah, we'll see. That's the November 17th. So we've got a little over 2 weeks. And then we will know about that. Man, by the time this comes out, this will be out Thursday. So Call of Duty comes out on Friday.
Right.
World War II. God damn it. I have to get that too because Trevor's getting that. So he's a Call of Duty nut. So I'll most likely be picking that up. And like, let's not lie. I picked up every Call of Duty. So. PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds has a launch date on Xbox One.
On Xbox One. I was going to say, well, the game kind of already launched, but it's coming out to console in December
12th. That's awesome for Xbox players. I would not want to play this game with a controller. But then again, everyone else is going to be on the controller, so I guess that levels the playing field. But I'm really interested to see how this game looks and plays on Xbox. Obviously, being a PC game that is quite janky on PC, I imagine that jank will transfer well over to the console. Man, I had fun with that game. I have not been able to go back to it because the last couple times I played it were so infuriating.
I could see that.
Seriously, still a great experience.
I got a ton of people that I have played games with for a super long time, they are like super hardcore into it right now, and that's like all they're playing.
The few guys.
Yeah, they're all playing tons of Playerunknowns.
That'd be fun to play in squads. I've never played it in more than than duos. Squads would be interesting because that definitely changes the game.
Yeah,
it's disappointing.
Also,
I was thinking that they were going to announce that it was going to come out for Xbox One launch, but
yeah, I've heard, and I've never played it. I don't play it, but I've heard that recently the cheating aspect of this game has gone through the roof.
Yeah, it's been pretty ridiculous. I've actually, I don't have a thing. I don't like streamers. It's not that I don't like streamers. I just don't have enough time in my day to watch other people play games when I want to play games.
Right.
Because if I'm watching a streamer, I'm not playing games. Right.
Right.
So I get it. People love streamers. They're some people's form of entertainment. But my entertainment is I want to play games. I don't want to watch someone else play them. But I will admit that I do like watching this one streamer in particular who has become quite popular. I think he's probably one of the most famous streamers right now, period.
Okay.
Dr. Disrespect.
Heard of him. Never watched him, but I've heard of him before.
He's freaking huge. I think he's hilarious. He's got a whole shtick. And he's like phenomenally good he's really good at PUBG.
Right.
And anyway, I watched a clip of his where like he's in a car and a speed hack cheater is like running next to his car on foot.
Wow.
And it's just like rad. And there's a lot of that. There's a lot of aim bots, and the speed cheat seems to be one of the more common ones because I think the speed cheat is like really hard for them to detect. So that seems to be one of the most common ones.
Interesting.
But it's like you can't hit someone who's running around like a lunatic, right?
Yeah.
And it's just annoying. And yeah, I think it's been getting pretty bad. They've been banning people like crazy, but
yeah,
like it's 17 million copies sold.
That's crazy. Well, they had 2.2 million concurrent earlier today.
Yeah, that's easily the biggest game. I wonder it's gonna fizzle out, but I wonder how long it's gonna last.
I don't know, because I mean, I think it's still on the up.
Oh, it's definitely on the up.
There's still lots of players.
Just depends how bad this cheating gets, because if they don't rein that in,
yeah,
that can put a hole in your fucking hot air balloon. And
oh, absolutely, that'll be a big problem.
Because I feel like the last few times I played, like getting headshotted without seeing enemies and knowing that I was like quiet and not doing any stupid like I wasn't running through a field, and I felt like the deaths were suspect. I was really pissed. Like I was infuriated, right? Especially with a game that has pretty high stakes and can be well, I guess longer matches are only 20 minutes, maybe 30 max, but still, it's pretty, getting people with aimbots, that's fucking bullshit.
Yeah, if
you're a cheater,
it's brutal.
You're a douche. It's fine cheating in like single player games.
Totally.
Like, tank code, give me all the money, make me invincible, all that shit. The second you cheat in multiplayer, I think you're reserved a special place in hell. Yeah, like F off. Like, just go away.
I'm not going to disagree with you there.
So we were talking about VR earlier and people not doing so well. Valkyrie developer CCP gives up on VR, and they're shutting down. They formed 2 VR studios that they're essentially restructuring.
Right. Because they made Valkyrie, and then they made another like side game,
making some other games. This other game that in the story, I can't remember the name of it. I played that at PAX. What the fuck's the name of it? They have the photos of this game, but I can't remember the goddamn name. I guess they just weren't making enough money for the amount of time and investment, and they're like, we want to keep going as a company. You know, they make Eve. And I guess they've just decided they've made enough losses or recouped enough money that they're just like, yeah, we're done. The market clearly isn't there for them. The thing that really that I don't like about this story, Spark. Yeah, that's the game. Spark is the one I played. You said it, and I totally didn't hear you. The thing that bugs me about this story is that I don't know. I guess the market's not there on PC. Clearly, it's there on PSVR. But it's like, Eve Valkyrie was pitched as the be-all, end-all VR title. And the first campaign mission that you play is pretty freaking amazing.
Right.
But the thing, to be honest, I think Eve Valkyrie sucks. That demo is amazing, but it's one level of hey, this is going to be the space opera amazing campaign. There was no campaign. It was literally multiplayer. And it's you did a bait and switch. Nobody wants a multiplayer VR space shooter. Some people did. People wanted I want freaking Star Wars fucking campaign that Rogue One mission on Battlefront.
So good.
If Eve Valkyrie was a full single player, I don't know, maybe there is a campaign, but I feel if it was good, we would have heard about it. I don't own Valkyrie. I could be talking totally out of my ass, and someone can correct me on this, but from what I understood, Valkyrie was a multiplayer game, and as beautiful as it was, that's not what anyone wants in VR.
I think a few of the things that really have frustrated me with VR, one of them being these people going out and throwing money at multiplayer VR, and there just isn't enough of a player base for these competitive multiplayer games. And to be honest, they're not great. Don't waste your money building a stupid multiplayer shooting gallery where you're going to make everybody either sick or you're just going to stand around and try and take pot shots at each other. That's just not fun. Take that money and build something unique.
Resident Evil did, man. Resident Evil 7, full game. That was awesome.
Well, and that's the other thing that I was going to say. The other thing that frustrates me is that all everybody seems to want to dip their toes into VR, but nobody really wants to go all in. So you get these little tiny experiences. So you get a level here and a level there and this little 15-minute, 20-minute, maybe an hour experience, because nobody wants to actually build full games for VR because they're worried about the investment.
Yeah, well, people are.
And they dip their toes in. And then when they don't really make any money off it, they go, well, we don't think there's a market here. And we're gonna walk away now.
Because people see through your weak ass attempts and cash grabs.
Yeah, and I mean, don't get me wrong, VR is definitely in a spot where the chicken and the egg is definitely a problem.
Mm-hmm. And it's expensive. There's a high entry fee to get into VR, so people don't want your not a real game for full price bullshit. Especially when you spent so much money, you want some quality stuff. So, that aside, hey, they're pulling out. It sucks. People lost their jobs, but to be honest, I feel like Eve Valkyrie was super overhyped.
Yeah, I didn't play it outside of the demo, so I can't really talk.
Yeah, that was the best part of it. So.
Yeah.
And more awesome, not awesome news. Housemarque is moving away from developing arcade titles. Most recently, Nex Machina. I don't know how you pronounce
Nex
that.
Machina.
Nex Machina. That top-down shooter that I talked about a couple months ago, which is awesome. Their most recent game. They just said that there doesn't seem to be much of a market. They've been trying to carry the torch for the classic high-score arcade frantic action games. And, they've been kind of the king of these types of games. I guess they're...
I love Super Stardust and I love Resogun. That being said, I don't know if I'm the type of player that would have purchased Resogun if it wouldn't have been included in my PlayStation 4 PlayStation Plus subscription. I don't know if I would have purchased it. That's the thing, right?
These guys have made some awesome games. They have a nice lineup, and they're just recognizing that the market isn't, they want to be around forever. They don't want to go away, so they're just they're working on something else. They said they are working on a different game in a genre that fans probably wouldn't expect from them.
Right.
And yeah, that's going to be pretty cool to see, because clearly these guys have some development chops. All their games are awesome, but they're just kind of admitting that the market isn't there for that type of game. And I connected with Nex Machina. God damn it, I can't ever say it. Machina, that's it. Nex Machina. Because I'm an arcade kid. Robotron, Defender, Galaga,
for sure.
I understand the high score, chasing the high score thing. But in games today, that doesn't really exist. So, oh well. I'm just glad that they aren't going away. So, I'm really excited to see what their next thing is. Next Machina is freaking awesome.
And I think things with Cuphead and stuff are sort of showing that people still really want that type of game. They just maybe want it a little bit differently.
So that's it for news. Public service announcements. PlayStation announced their free game PlayStation Plus games for November. Ew.
It's not a great lineup this
I don't
November.
know.
I'm not going to lie. I mean, I don't know. I didn't personally think it was a great lineup. But.
Worms Battleground and Bound on PS4. Then there's a bonus PlayStation VR title, Until Dawn, Rush of Blood, which is great. That's cool.
Yeah.
Free VR games, 2 in a month, 2 in a row. I'm down with that.
Can't complain about that.
I have no idea if Bound is any good or Worms Battlegrounds. No idea. And then for PS3, they have R-Type Dimensions, Ragdoll Kung Fu, which from what I remember is freaking stinker. Also PS3. Dungeon Punks, which is Vita, PS4, cross-buy. No idea what that is. And Broken Sword 5, The Serpent's Curse, Episode 1 and 2 on the Vita. So yeah, ugh. You can't win them all. I think Xbox's lineup might be better this month.
Yeah. Has Xbox announced what theirs are?
Yeah, we talked about it last week. God damn it. Weren't you here?
I don't know. Might have been somewhere else last week.
Yeah,
where was
the guy I was talking to last week.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's fair.
He said it was okay. It was Trackmania, Tales from the Borderlands, Nights in the Dreams, and Deadfall.
Right.
It was also kind of meh.
It's all coming back to me, but obviously none of which are overly exciting me. So
yeah, no, they're both not memorable. I guess when you should give everything away, you start running out of things.
Running out of things to give away.
Yeah. No other PSAs. Well, public reminder, enter our contest if you haven't. Check out our Facebook, Geekoholics, our Twitter, Geekoholics. You'll find the Assassin's Creed tweet and post to /share, retweet, and or the actual contest widget links are there as well, where you can earn up to 9 entries.
Ooh.
Doing that. Yeah, enter that. I think that ends the 14th. I think was the cutoff date I did for that. So I can't remember, but definitely check that out. With that being said, let's get into our Free for All section. Along with all these crazy ass games that came out, Stranger Things 2 is on Netflix now.
Been trying to get my wife to watch this.
Did you guys watch the first season? You did, didn't you?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. we watched the first season, really liked it, and then she was really on the fence about it the whole time that we watched it, though. I really liked it. I loved the first season. I thought it was fantastic.
Oh yeah.
Her takeaway was kind of like, I liked it, sort of.
She could live without it.
But she's not sure she wants to watch the second season, so I'm not sure. So, and then the other night I mentioned that we should watch the second season, and she was like, not so close to bed. Was her response. So we may have to just watch it. But
my wife finds it quite freaky. She's like, I don't know what it is. Like, they don't do jump scares or anything, but she's like,
it's that slow creepiness.
She's like, it's so scary. And I'm like, yeah, it's pretty awesome. I'm only 4 episodes in, but man, what a fucking awesome series.
Yeah, I think I
connected. Like, obviously, it doesn't. There's no monsters in my childhood, but I'm a child of the 80s.
Oh, totally.
Like, I was those kids.
Yeah,
like, those kids was me and my friends and my cousins riding our bikes around the neighborhood, wherever we wanted, unchecked. The arcades, rest in peace, which so many people don't even know what an arcade is. I agree. When they're like, not even like the story's so amazing, but like just the flashbacks to my childhood from watching that show. It's like, I did that. That was us. Like,
we've got the harsh nostalgia, right? For those.
God, such harsh nostalgia. Like the high school kids, those are my cousins, metalheads with freaking long hair. They were total bangers, like driving the freaking Camaros and Firebirds. Like,
I rock Z, buddy.
Jesus Christ. Like, those were all my cousins were those guys.
It's a good old Z28.
It's so funny.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, I'm really liking Stranger Things. It's hard to talk about it without spoilers because you don't want to spoil anything.
Yeah, no.
So far, so good.
I really want to get into it.
So far, so good. I really like that world and universe. And I also saw Blade Runner 2049. It's a pretty cool flick.
Again, I've heard really good things. I really want to see it.
Visually, it's quite stunning.
That's kind of why I want to see it in the theater.
Like every scene looks so freaking cool. Everything is just shot so.
It's a spectacle for the eyeballs.
Yeah, it's like eye candy. It's like a really good looking video game, you know. But it's a movie. There's some really neat things they do in it. The story's cool. I think it's a little heavy-handed. A lot of stuff is open for interpretation. Some of the bigger questions that are left from even the first movie still go unanswered. I was going
to say, so just like the first movie then.
But there is some stuff that they like just blatantly fucking spell out for you. There's, you have to be an idiot to not understand what's going on. It's not a crazy action-packed movie. There is some cool action every once in a while. It's just more of a thinking
sci-fi thriller,
action, sci-fi adventure. Yeah, but it's such a cool flick. I thought it was great. The audio, I will say, the music is very jarring.
Really,
like the soundtrack is. It really makes you tense and uneasy in some scenes. Like the music was blaring, like it's not even like music, it's like strange sounds in like action scenes and stuff. That just made you feel like, I don't know, it made me feel like heavy or like uncomfortable.
Which is, I'm sure, what exactly they wanted to do.
It was really, really weird. Like the music, for some reason, music usually, like, I like music and it adds a lot to movies, but the music in this movie I found really affected me emotionally. It's very strange.
Huh.
And I'm sure that's what he was aiming for.
Oh, there's no doubt in my mind.
I can't even really explain it. You have to watch it. It's a long movie. Like,
yeah, it's like 3 hours long. Yeah.
It was like daytime when we went in to watch it, and it was night when we came out.
It was midnight. Yeah.
It's too bad it's not doing awesome in the theaters, because it is a good movie. It deserves to be successful, but I don't know. I get it. Fucking popcorn watching moviegoers. They want Michael Bay fucking crap. This stuff's too heady and slow for them. So that stuff's fine and dandy, but like, man, like,
it's different stuff though. Like I don't want one or the other all the time. I want one or the other when I want one or the other. You know what I mean? Like there's times when all I want to do is I just want to go into a stupid Transformers movie and enjoy myself. And there's other times when I want to.
The mass majority only wants the one thing, and they want the fucking sugar-coated piece of shit.
Right.
Like that's the problem. Like there's not enough people like us who just want to watch stuff that's heady or entertaining and thoughtless, and or the stuff that makes you go, right?
Yeah.
Or like the more emotional stuff. Like some people don't want that. Like I know people like they will never watch like a cartoon or an animated or a CG show because it's for kids. So it's gotta be stupid. Like what kind of ignorance is that?
I don't know.
That's like do you just turn your brain off? Like, do you just close to all experience? That makes no sense to me, to have such a closed-minded attitude about stuff. And to be honest, a lot of people are like that.
Yeah.
It's just weird to me. Anyway.
I don't argue with you there.
I thought it was a great flick. I thought it was cool. Am I going to buy it on Blu-ray? No, because I don't buy Blu-rays, because buying movies is fucking stupid. Get everything on demand. Get Netflix. You don't need to own movies. You never watch them anyway. It's just a waste of money. Do you want to waste $25? Send it to me. Give it to me. I'll take it. Yeah. I say that from a guy who has like hundreds of DVDs in the other room. And I swear to God, there's probably 25% of them are still in their plastic and have never been watched.
Yep. And the funny thing is that there's times when you feel like watching one of those, and it's probably you just pull it up on Netflix and watch it.
Yeah, or some other source, or it's on demand for free because it's on the movie channel.
Right.
Or whatever. Anyway. Dane.
Yeah.
I think we have a show, my friend.
I think so.
Episode 129.
Whew.
Is in your ear holes and on your hard drives and flash media storage everywhere.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know about everywhere, but at least
hopefully everywhere.
Wherever you're listening to this. You can follow me on Twitter at RickF, no K, RICF.
You can always come bug me on Twitter at Dane Cody, at DAYNECODY.
Yeah, make sure to follow us on Twitter at Geekoholics, like us on Facebook, Geekoholics, and subscribe to us on YouTube, Geekoholics. Of course, if you are super awesome and have a chance and enjoyed what you listened to, please do leave us a review on your podcast player app, directory, source, whatever. Mainly iTunes, because I don't know if anyone else counts, but if you happen to have an awesome iPhone and you can rate us on iTunes, that seems to be one of the best ways for us to find new listeners. So if you can take a moment and do that, if you happen to have an iDevice, that would be fantastic. Anyway, I think that's it. I don't have anything else, Dane.
All right, man. I think that's all. We got to go play some Mario before bed.
Yeah, it's time to go play one of like 10 million games and watch Stranger Things all at the same time.
That too. Awesome. I'll see you guys next week.
We're out. Peace.